Uh-oh, Tim must be here. We're being recorded now. Is that to assure quality assurance? I guess I have to approve it here, huh?
Yeah, you got to accept it or leave it.
You're being recorded for quality assurance.
Yeah.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, how's it going?
It goes well.
So
What's your mood like for the potential of doing a, nerd night?
Depends on what night it is. Seriously, it just depends.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious if we've got enough folks who are, post-pandemic enough to be willing to get together again.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Because the meeting practically is that now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but this is, Phil, when you're in your house like this, it's a little closer quarters.
No.
Not by much.
Not by much the way we have meetings.
We're sitting next to each other, so.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the building, there's a lot more cubic space in the.
When I'm sitting next to Jonathan, it feels like he's, physically on my back, so I might as well.
Phil, what do you think about getting together on a weekend and building for a while?
That sounds cool. I don't know who you guys are though.
Your lathes and machining stuff, and you'll be able to stretch build like working gun mechanisms. But
do you get the power for that, Vince?
Where do you guys around? What area are you guys in? I don't want to say much now because we're recorded now.
So I'm basically just across from Gate 3 at PAX.
Oh, okay.
Off Hermanville.
Right.
And we've met at Tim's, and we've met at, he's up off of the backside of 5, up by Leonardtown. We've met at Darren's. He's up off of near St. John's, north of St. John's Road, in Mechanicsville.
Yeah.
And we've met at Jeff's, and he's up, in Charlotte Hall. So I mean, we meet all over the county.
Okay.
There was 5 of us. Now there's 4 who had the space to host everybody. One of them decided to move to freaking Alaska.
Oh.
If you're watching this, Mike.
Send Vince a nasty note.
Yeah, I wish we had enough parking because we have a nice big basement and we don't do much with it. So, but not much parking for everybody.
Oh, heck, we just kind of crowd in wherever we can.
You got a front yard, don't you, Phil?
Yeah, I usually spend
I don't see the problem here. What's the problem?
Saturday, I usually spend Sunday cleaning all the mess out of my yard.
Except for the really big trees there. No.
I had everybody over here once, and Darren showed up in that great big monster truck of his. And my house is behind the houses on the road, so my front faces into their back. And I've got a long stovepipe driveway that comes back here. And the parking lot and the stovepipe were getting full, and Darren came trundling down in that big old honking truck. And I went, just throw it in the yard there. And he goes, this thing is really heavy. I went, yeah, no, whatever, throw it in the yard. He turned and drove in at the top end of my yard, right off the neighbor's back fence. And man, I got a riding mower for about 2 months. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Wheel ruts.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Well, he warned you.
Yeah. Like, holy crap, man. It was acting like the ground was wet when you rolled up in here. So it's going to be a light meeting tonight, I guess, huh?
I think they'll straggle in.
Yeah, there's typically another half dozen that come in well after 7. And usually there's a bunch of yakking going on, so that lasts until about 5 after, when I interrupt and just say, okay, it's time to start the meeting.
It must be awesome to have that kind of power.
Oh, wait. Okay. There's a few more. I got to slide my
I feel
screen.
awesome, I gotta say.
There's
Yeah.
about 10 of us so far.
Yeah, never mind. Before there was just the 4 of us on the screen. Now there's a button and I've got to scroll through to see everybody. Okay, there's more here.
Oh, yeah.
Tim, what's the theme next month? Is that build the same kit? The A4s?
No,
September
September
or
is
October?
Bandai.
Oh,
September
Bandai.
Bandai. Yeah.
Then
And then
October is World
is
War
World
One.
War One. And then
So
November
November is the A4s. Okay.
not A4s, it's the Hurricane.
Hurricane.
No, it was a Skyhawk this year, wasn't it? Hurricane's next.
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
No.
Skyhawk was last year.
Oh, well, there you go.
Amnesty was last month.
Yeah. Ooh, when's Alzheimer's? That's what I need to go to
Whenever
that
you
one.
need it, man. Whenever you
Yeah.
need it.
That's
Ah,
December, Jonathan. That's December.
okay. All right. October's World War One. That's what I needed to know more than anything.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey,
Hey, Jonathan. There's I pulled it out for October.
I'll bet it's still bigger than the one I'm going to do, Vince.
You think so? Even in 144 scale? There it is.
I think my wing is about, well, it's about the same size.
Yeah, usually don't have guys that are arguing over how small it is. But hey,
Do we find something wrong with it?
Is yours smaller than mine, Vince?
I believe in this.
You believe it
instance,
is. Look up
there you go.
a Hansa Brandenburg W20. It's like, I think it has a 20-foot wingspan.
Ah,
Designed to fold it up in a U-boat in World War One.
and you're doing that in 144 scale, huh?
No, 72. And
Oh.
it is still smaller than that.
I think this would be a good place to insert Weird Al's song "White and Nerdy."
Hey, Phil's making me a working machine gun for it.
Like,
She wasn't even armed.
Jonathan's up there. I will shoot down all the competition in October.
No, I give it about a 30% chance of even getting finished. And I'm getting smashed.
Those are not really good odds.
No, well, I'm padding them too. Because about half the kit has to be scratch built because it ain't there.
ooh.
Is it a vac or something, or what are you doing?
No, it's injection molded, but you get the wings, you get the fuselage, the rudder, and the elevator. But the engine sits between the two wings. You don't get that whole big bracket the engine built on. You got to come up with that yourself. And they don't even give you drawings of the damn thing. You get the picture on the one picture of the aircraft, and that's it. So I've been online looking for pictures of that and what I'm going to make that out of.
So I
Is
will
it a
tell
kit
you
or
for
a modification part?
It's a kit, yeah. Merlin Model. Don't buy one.
oh Merlin
one
Model. Okay, nope. Enough said. They're very limited edition, and you're
Yeah.
right. You only get half of what you need. I've got a couple over there.
That was one of the ones that somebody gave the club that Tim said, if you don't take it, I'm throwing it away. That's what I took it for.
Yeah, you know why?
And I just put the fuselage sides together. And like I said at the meeting, it was like doing drywall, putting the putty on. I had to do a skim coat down the whole fuselage because there was 2 C sections like that. And that's what it looked like. And you had to fill in all this up in here. Oh,
So this Albatross W4 by SRAM, it is 144 scale. and at least it comes with a set of 3 view drawings.
Well, see, that's good. And they're full size, right?
Hang on.
I mean, they're at least, so you can measure things off of them.
Yeah, they look to be full size to the kit.
Yeah, that would be nice. I guess you can work.
I say full size, but I mean, look at the piece of paper I'm holding.
Well,
this is like that hanging Chad thing, right?
yeah, I get to take a picture of this other plane and start shrinking it on a copier until it meets the size of my stupid model. I guess Merlin means you got to be a magician to do the damn thing. But that's why we're in it, right? Just for the fun.
Are you guys done arguing over which one's smaller?
Okay. Yes, Lord President.
So are there any announcements anybody would like to make?
Yeah, we get to go to a show next week. Yay!
Next Saturday, September
So,
11th.
how many people are going?
Pennsylvania.
I'm
Gettysburg,
going.
Pennsylvania.
I'm going. Dave's going. Justin's going. Benny's going. I know Benny's going. I can see by the look in his eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning to go.
Yep.
Hey, one thing, I don't know if like I'm late to the party or what, but on the Motor Trend channel, they have Steve Magnetti supermodels. Anybody seen that?
Never heard of it.
No.
Okay, so on the Motor Trend channel, it's Steve Magnetti's. It looks like Mag Nantes. That's his last name, how that's spelled, and it's supermodels. And basically, he is a car guy, of course, because it's Motor Trend channel. But basically, he'll like take a kit and like a lot of us do, like do modifications and stuff like that. He'll do kit bashes. He'll be like, yeah, this kit has a great block, but the pipes are all wrong. So we're going to get this old kit here and get the pipes out of this. And so I don't think his models would win any awards at IPMS, but it's cool because he just doesn't go through building a model, but he physically goes through the actual cars and shows, like, hey, this is, how like the valve covers are on this, and we're going to use this part because it lines up just like that. And so it's pretty cool. My wife was actually watching it with me too. So it's not like really boring, like, hey, we're going to build a car today. So, but for all you car guys,
All one of you.
I was going to say all one. I think it's Steve.
Yeah.
Unless Dave's on here.
Oh, wait, Paul's on here.
Yeah, I do occasional car.
Yeah.
Or Victor.
and I think it was actually on last Friday night too. I'd have to look it up, but I bet he's probably on YouTube as well.
Right. Okay, anything else? No? All right. Well, I'll skip the bald head I'm looking at and go to Phil first.
I thought you were talking about me.
No, I was talking about the one that had the Optivisor covering the face.
Okay, I'm just sitting here doing some touch-up painting and stuff for the 2 robots that I'm working on. I have put some hydraulic lines in for the manipulators, and I'm just working on doing a bunch of the highlights and all that good stuff with them. So I don't remember if I showed you guys or not, but got the decals on and got a clear coat over that, and then basically going to paint over that with a light coat of sand because it's the desert, so the sand covers everything, and you could hardly see any of the markings anyways on a lot of vehicles out there. So yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, and the feet, I took the feet and put 4mm brass nuts in them. So when I go to put them down on the stand, they'll literally be fastened on. Oh, and I almost forgot the stand. Went to Hobby Lobby and got a really nice piece of basswood with the bark on it. And I was going to strip it clean. And my wife was like, hey, why don't you leave the bark on there and make it kind of look rough? And I was looking at it again. I was like, you know what? I'll take the rough bark off, but leave the underside on it, and I'll just paint it so it looks like rocks. So it'll be kind of like rocks on the front and then sand on the top. And then put feet on it as well too, so it's easy to pick up off the ground and stuff. So that, and probably about 5 coats of polyurethane on there to seal the sucker so it wouldn't come apart. And let's see, that's it for that. Oh, and I forgot to say last week for the Lighthouse, when I made it, it has actual rust on there. So I had, when we were in England, we had an old minivan there, and the radiator kept leaking. So there would be this rust stuff at the top of the radiator. And I was like, you know what? I bet I can make a pigment out of that. So it worked out perfect. So if you guys ever have that problem, I heard like you could do it with steel wool as well too, like dissolve steel wool in like vinegar or something like that.
Yeah, you can do that to color metals with it.
Yep.
Good God, Phil, you go to England, rent a vehicle, and then take a Ziploc bag to collect the rust off the wheel wells for a model. That's,
yeah.
Customs must have loved looking at your bag.
But that's it for me.
All right, Phil. Okay, Vince, you're up.
Okay. So I got a few things going here lately. For next month, we have the Bandai. I've got I'm almost pouring stuff off. I have the Bandai X-Wing is going here in one. And what I did was I cut open and modified all of the wheel wells out of the engine nacelles so I can have it sitting on the ground. I've got to scratch build the struts, but I got a full cockpit built into it, and it even has a seat and a stick I've robbed from another model to drop in there. And I found Retro Wings actually produced some 72nd scale X-Wing pilots. I know that's 144th, but I'm gonna put it on a base with like a forced perspective, so the squares get smaller back where the X-Wing will be sitting, and larger in the foreground with a pilot for a forced perspective kind of view. And then for our build the same kit, I've got all the interior colors painted and wheel wells and other things, and I've knocked out some cockpit painting and other pieces to start going on my Hurricane. And then because October actually comes before November, I've broken out and started taking pieces off the sheets of carrier resin on this 144 scale Albatross W4 waterplane, float plane for the October meeting. So as soon as I get these 3 done, I saw your list, Tim, and I've got a pair of those, I think it's Edward's 72nd scale Spitfire 2-in-1 kits. So I can break out a Spitfire for January for Make Tim Happy. But those are the things I'm primarily working on here. I still have some progress on the little Curtiss P-36 Hawks. I'm playing with those on the side, but my focus has been on the X-Wing and now the Albatross and a little bit on the Hurricane. That's what's happening here. Thanks.
Cool. All right. Jonathan, you're up.
Okay. Well, Vince, I have to apologize. Yours is smaller. I got my top wing out, and yours is actually smaller. Okay. So
that's pretty small.
You win, Vince. You win. Anyway, this is the beginning. Let's see, how can I do this? This is the beginning of my October flying boat here. This is a Merlin Hansa Brandenburg W20. Don't ask to look at it. It's really stupid looking. This is one of these ones that Tim was going to throw out. Like we were talking earlier, you get about half the parts with it. That's it. So it looks a little like Vince's, but imagine that the fuselage really being about 15 feet long, and that's it. So
that looks like a tiny, what are the Friedrichshaven that were flying boats?
It looks like a lot of things. If you'll notice too that there's a lot of anhedral in the wing, which is not supposed to be there, so that has to get all taken back out permanently right there before I truss it with any struts. So that's happening then. The only thing I've really got done this week is I managed to get markings and leading edges and non-glare panel on the Oscar.
That looks good.
Yeah, it's all decal. Don't credit me with masking anything. All that green is decal.
Still looks good.
So hopefully this will get done and get put away, and then I can get to work on my my World War I's here. I think I'm going to have to rig it just to hold the damn thing together. So anyway, that's all for me, Tim. I will cede my time to the next lucky contestant.
All right. I think that's going to be me. Let's see. What am So I'm like everybody else. I'm starting to work on the different bits. This is my Hurricane. That's what these bits are, and what I'm doing is converting mine to a metal winged Hurricane because I've already got all the fabric wing ones built from a couple of years ago, and this is a resin replacement wing, but the rest of the kit is all the Airfix stuff. I've got the cockpit done. Just need to start gluing things in. I think if I seem to remember that you can see just enough detail, so I'll probably add some seat belts to the seat. And there's my the decal for the instrument panel. I haven't decided. I haven't figured out yet if the particular subject I'm making needs a Rotal prop, or if I can use the kit de Havilland prop. So I got to figure that part out. Anyway, I got more Hurricane spare parts and resin upgrades than I have Hurricanes, I think. Let's see. The other thing I'm working on, I was able to find some anchor chain for my Arizona, and I've test fit this, and it works perfect. It fits down into the anchor holes, down to the chain locker, which is right there. So it goes down in there and then goes around and runs up, and then of course it'll fit just fine through the hawse. And anyway, found that, got that at Michael's. All I got to do is figure out how to make it a dark gray or a black. I'll figure that part out. Hopefully something will stick to it. Working on other theme kits from Bandai. I'm doing the X-Wing. I finished painting. This is some sort of blue quantity or whatever. Of course, the nice thing is these things are just about a snap together. I'm at a point where I need to put in the decals, although I want to do, turns out this whole instrument right here is a decal. So I was going to wash and paint all of that, but I don't need to. However, I will wash some of this other stuff, and I'll wash some of this metallic stuff that's in there. I've actually started gluing things together. So this is all glued together, and these four pieces are glued together. And then I just got to finish. I'm doing some touch-up paint on the wing. I decided to paint that and some different metallic colors just to give it an accent. And the only thing I'm not painting is the blue plastic, because that matches perfectly the decals that come with it. And I didn't want to try and match paint or come up with and I don't have a blue that's out of the bottle close enough to even begin to look like that. It's some weird color. So anyway, this thing's coming together real well. I'm pretty happy with that. And then the other thing I think I've zeroed in on a Fokker D8, I think it is. Yeah, the monoplane. Yeah, and so that'll be, I haven't figured out which one I'll do. I like both of them at the end of the day, but it's an Edouard kit from a long time ago. And I think there was originally 2 kits in here, but because it comes with 2 packs of resin, something or other, and photo etch. So anyway, fun stuff. I mean, there's only 8 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, excuse me, 11 parts.
Yeah, but all the struts are photo etch, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what it appears. It appears
Yeah.
they're all photo etch. So that ought to be a fun kind of effort. But given that I don't like photo etch, we'll see if that one actually gets finished.
Just be careful if you hit it, Tim, that the photo etch struts don't go up into your hand.
Yeah, it'll be
Oh, smart.
yeah, totally unlike me to try and do a bunch of photo etch on something that anyway, lots of fun. I'm going to cede my time over to somebody else. Let's see. Paul,
Hang on,
you're
Tim.
gonna be next.
Hang on, Tim. Where did you come up with a resin metal wing for that Hurricane? Who's that by?
Let's see. Alley Cat.
Alley Cat? Out of the UK?
Yeah, Alley Cat models out of the UK, and he has become kind of flaky. I bought these when he first released them. Anyway, when I was at Telford a few years ago, and I bought 3 or 4, and but he's otherwise a pretty flaky guy, and when I say flaky, it's one of those things. You go to his website and it'll show that there's nothing in stock, and you try to contact him, he may reply back to you sometime in the next year. Yeah, and he's got a website. He's active on Brit Modeler, but he doesn't reply to queries about buying anything. You want to buy something, you go to Telford and you buy it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But, and of course, on here, he does say, hey, here's my contact information, but it's like, dude, answer your friggin' email. But there for a while, about 4 years ago, he was real responsive. And then in the last year, he's just kind of gone into a hole somewhere, I guess.
Thank
Anything
you.
else?
No, what's the quality on that stuff? Is it worth trying to get in touch with him? Because I hadn't seen a whole replacement wing like that.
Yes and no. In my opinion, it's a very high quality resin casting. You get the entire wing plus the wheel bay, with the exception of you have to use 1, 2, 3 kit parts, but otherwise you get the full wheel bay comes with it. It's you get this whole piece here is separate from the rest of the wing, unlike the kit. But once you put it together, I mean, it looks just as good as the kit. I've still got a little bit of seam here and here to clean up, but it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, but you drop the floor right on it like you do the plastic part, right?
Yeah, these 2 pieces are, excuse me, the only thing that's plastic here is there's 3 pieces here. There's the floor and the pedals. You can see the rudder pedals and then the stick, and then these 2 pieces that run in parallel, not parallel, but in a little triangle. They're part of the kit. They're plastic, so I just super glued those in. But otherwise, and then there was I left this on because it helps the fit, but I had to clean up a similar piece on this side. And then they give you a clear, new clear glass here, plastic. I think it's resin as well, clear resin, because these are a different shape than on the original kit.
Fabric wing, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and the reason why the original shape is they're further outboard than on the fabric wing. And then they also give you the wingtip. So you don't have to cut that out and replace it with sprue.
Yeah, that is pretty high quality.
Yeah, and of course I can feel it, but the panel lines are all very, very fine. And you know, I mean, you can see them, and that's about it. But otherwise, it's nice and smooth. It is very high quality. I bought some other stuff from him, like I've got a Manchester conversion for the Lancaster. I've also got a Lincoln conversion, and it's very high quality resin, or castings. But again, if you see them at Telford, that's where you get them. At least that's been my experience, because otherwise, the guy just doesn't seem to be very responsive. That
That's
may
a shame.
change. I don't know. After, it could be a Brexit thing. It could be anything. Who knows?
Way to alienate a good bit of your customer base.
Well, his customer base is primarily in the UK, so it could be that he just doesn't want to deal with anybody in the US.
That could be. Thank you, Tim.
Yes, sir. All right. So really, Paul, you're up.
Really. Hey, everyone. Not a whole lot on the modeling side. I was on vacation. I just got back a couple of days ago. I visited some of the New England states. I had a great time. And lo and behold, to my surprise, not far from my brother's house, is a hobby shop. Imagine how excited I was. We marked off a couple hours to go there. I was going to go there with visions of buying all these kits. I mean, after all, I'm on vacation, brought lots of money with me. I was going to buy many kits. Went to this place. I was going to give them a shout out on the Model Geeks. Hopefully they'll shout out the place. I think they do that every episode, a little hobby shop shout out thing. So I was really looking forward to it. We got there. The place is filthy, but that's no big deal, right? I didn't care. All the kits were merged together. The armor, the cars, the airplanes were all mixed together. Like, no big deal. That's cool. I can go through that stuff and just have a ball. I might have stayed there 10 minutes. The guy that was running the place was the most rude person. I mean, forget about hobby shots. I mean, just overall retail. Try to engage him in conversation. He had nothing to do with it. Didn't want to help me. Didn't want to help any of us. It was just it was so disappointing. I mean, like I said, I probably earmarked $400 to $500 that I brought just to buy models and have a good time there. Didn't spend a penny, not 1 cent. I'm not going to tell the name of the place, here. It's being recorded. I know I'm going to take the high road on that, but
He's trying to go out of business. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I thought. We talked about that when we were kind of driving away, but he had a lot of new kits. So you'd think if he's going out of business, like he wouldn't stock up on some newer kits. And like I said, it was just an awful experience. And I was really surprised that, we always talk about hobby shops, are this dying breed, and it's tough to find, brick and mortar places these days. And I always have a ball going to these things in the local hobby shops around here. And I just can't tell you how disappointed I was with, this guy's attitude. Like, you just didn't want any part of any customers. And me, my brother, and my wife were the only 3 people in the place. But anyway, so
Jeez.
yeah. So, think about someone comes in your business. Now, you don't know how much money they plan on spending, but, treat them with respect, try to be engaged in conversation just a little bit, because you never know. I mean, but anyway, on to actual modeling. Again, not a lot done. I just got back just a few days ago. Here's what I do have. So my car is almost completed. You can see the main body's got all the sponsorship decals on it. That rolling chassis has got everything on there. Just needs wheels. Just needs a windscreen for that, and the rear spoiler. Now that'll be done. I'm also working on the Corsair, the 132nd Corsair, and I just got some of the console parts done. Let's see if you can. I don't know how well you can see this. Detail painted it, And I put those little tiny decals there, those placards, the Barracuda decals, and they went down all right. They're kind of silvering a little bit. It's really hard to get a fine instrument down there and kind of squeeze out the water and, you know, do a proper decal application. But I'm hoping that a dull coat, I'm going to weather this up a little bit. I still have to put some placards on this side. I'm hoping that I can, after I weather this up a little bit, that a dull coat can take some of that out. So we'll see. But this is, like I said before, is just been a ball. I mean, I'm having probably the best time building models in the 1.5 to 2 years I came back to the hobby building this thing. I mean, it's just been terrific. And I'm quite pleased with the way this thing's coming out. Not too shabby. So there you go. Not much. Like I said, I've been away, but back now, and we'll get rolling here on this Corsair and finish up that car. That's all I got.
All right, Paul, thanks. Benny, you're up.
All right. So for Paul, I don't know what part of New England you were in, but if you are in the greater New Haven, Connecticut area at any time, or anybody is, there's a hobby shop called HQ Hobbies in Milford, Connecticut, and I highly recommend it. Really good shop. The owner's a bit odd, but he's not off-putting. The shop's not dirty, and it is stacked floor to ceiling with kits and paints and size and all kinds of stuff. And it's he's an armor modeler, but they have an amazing selection of aircraft. They have a lot of Gundam and anime stuff. My daughter goes there with her with her friends and picks stuff up. So definitely worth a look. And apparently the guy special ordered a Godzilla for her. So
Oh, cool.
So hoping she's going to pick that up pretty soon and start working on it. She was inspired by Jonathan's Godzilla.
Yeah.
Haven't got a lot done this week. I did get I've got the camouflage blocked in on the FW190, and then my airbrush packed up, and I had to do some pretty serious maintenance on it. I just got that taken care of here about an hour ago. So I used a couple of minutes before the meeting, did some paint work on my giant Bondi 124th Mustang, which is in danger of not being finished on time, but at least it'll be a work in progress in a couple of weeks.
What do you mean by on time, Benny?
Still working on the Mustang dogfight. Say again?
What do you mean by on time? Is there a goal for that Mustang?
It's Bondi, so 2 weeks from today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So, and I've been still working on my Albatross. While I was sitting here, I masked up the propellers. The kit actually comes with 2 different propellers. Haven't decided which one I'm going to use yet. I think I need to do a little more research on the airplane that I'm building, but those are masked up so I can get the laminations in the prop. I'll take care of that and get that painted up and shoot a little Tamiya clear yellow on it, get the varnish on. So it looks like a good varnish prop, and that should be good to go. Other than that, really haven't had a whole lot of opportunity at the bench this last week or so. For the folks that are going up to Gettysburg, Tim, are we going to do a club display, or what's the plan on that?
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will pack accordingly then.
Yeah, first scheduled club display is Richmond.
Okay. All right, good. I should have all of my 357th Mustangs done by then. So, all right. That's pretty much all I got. So
All right.
next.
Okay, cool. Mike Campbell, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. Last 2 weeks been dedicated to having a week of family visiting. That's always interesting and tiring. And then the air conditioner in the hobby end of the house taking a dump. So I haven't been back there for a week waiting for the service call. And with that in mind, I'll cede my time to somebody who's actually getting something done.
All right, Mike.
any comments on the nationals I missed in the last couple of weeks would be interesting as well.
All right. Joe, you're up.
Well, earlier I was putting gloss on that big Super Hornet, the Blue Angel one. It's blue and yellow, so getting it ready for the markings. And right now I'm sitting here taking the canopy masks off of an XP51, the number 2 one. This is it's a Bren gun kit. And I may have mentioned something about it a few weeks ago. The individual bits fit together pretty nice. When you go to put the wing on the fuselage, not so much. It took a lot of sanding and work to get the wing roots on top to where the wing would actually look like it at least had some dihedral. I don't think it has quite enough, but it's not negative at this point. So the markings came from a Ventura sheet that's got a captured P51 on it with German markings, a 2-seat conversion Mustang that flew over Normandy, and the second prototype from Wright Field, which, as far as I can tell, was a standard British Mustang 1 that was painted in US markings. And the kit does have the correct wing for a Mustang 1 with the 3303 machine guns in it. So overall, it's not a horrible kit, not as nice as it could be, but buildable. And it's also plugging along a little bit more on the little Piper Cub. No, there it is. I got the fuselage together, got it painted the light gray. It's going to be a Navy Cub that was used by one of the Zeppelin squadrons as a hack out on the West Coast. And that's what I'm doing. I will cede the rest of my time to someone else.
Did you find some more Blue Angel yellow paint, Joe?
Enamel, no. But I ordered 3 bottles of the acrylic along with a couple of baby Hornets from Hobby Link, so they should be here in a week or so.
Okay. I've got a friend who offered
quite out of the enamel, but I don't have enough to do another airplane.
Well, I've got a friend who offered me some more Model Master enamels, and I'm just waiting to, I think I'm going to be able to pick it up in Gettysburg. And I asked him if he had Blue Angel yellow in there, and he said, I think so, but if he has some, I'll get some for you.
I'm interested. I prefer the enamels.
Okay.
All right.
You know, if you want to get rid of any of the RLMs, Vince.
All right, if that's it, Joe, then I'll move to uneven surface, also known as Victor.
Oh, I thought I fixed that. Sorry. I'm having some tech issues here, so I hope it's coming through. Still working on the Tamiya F4. Trying to do an F110 conversion. I heard Frillo mentioned Flying Leathernecks did the thin cap for the early one, so I got one of those. But then I went down a rabbit hole because they also make the Mark 82s, and I have a picture of this carrying 13 Mark 82s, I guess, for a PR shot back in '62. So then I went down a further rabbit hole and decided Flying Leathernecks also sells the Edward Brasson MERS. And just a point of reference for everybody, I guess it's probably well known that they're not the right size and they are the wrong size. And they are the right size. So there's 2 different, I got part number 648277. And then I got another box because I thought I was going to do an F105, and it's 6488277, exact same part number. two different lengths. I don't know if it's visible. No. Anyway, two different lengths. One length is correct. You can't tell until you buy it. One length matches right up with the monogram length. And the only way to tell visibly is it seems like it's a slightly cheaper casting, the correct length, and it has square lug holes. And the longer one also fits the flying leatherneck bomb perfectly. The shorter one does not. Again, same part number. Don't know when they changed it. Don't know how you can go purposely find it other than buy a couple boxes and send the one you don't like back.
Hope for the best. Yeah.
But, it's somebody must have made a complaint. I heard Duke's Models talk about he wasn't happy with the length. So maybe a couple years back they switched it up and there's some old ones still in stock. But that's it. I hope that helps. Probably have now.
About 6 months ago, they asked me if I had correct drawings, and so I sent them some, and so that's obviously they've used them.
Yep. The newer casting's a little bit more brittle. It just feels that way. I didn't snap it. I forgot to say I actually went out of my way to make the correct length. That's the one I dropped. And
Man.
and then I was gonna, mass produce these, and I go get another one, and I'm like, wait a minute, that one is the correct length. And then I looked and realized there was a difference. But I hope that helps. I just say check. The reason that matters is you will not be able to fit one Mark 82 after another Mark 82 on the shorter one unless you lengthen it. But that's it for me. Still having fun. Thanks.
Cool. Jim, you're up.
I haven't done much modeling, but I imposed upon a friend who does 3D casting or 3D CAD type modeling stuff. And most of you have seen my 1/16 scale A1 that sits in my basement wherever it wants. It has always lacked a good prop. And so he has made me a very nice prop in 1/16 scale. So now I have no excuse. I have to finish the damn thing. So that's pretty much it for me.
All right, Steve, you're up.
Yeah, not a whole lot here. I got this in the mail last week. So the old MPC 69 Camaro. Yeah, another squirrel that I've been messing with. And oops. I opened this up. It was a sealed kit, but I found the one of the risks you get when you buy old kits is, that right there. One of the tires was laying against the door.
Yeah.
It melted into the door. So I'll have to fix that.
Battle damage.
Yeah. But right now I got the kit tires are on it, but the wheels are resin wheels. They're the Chevy Rally, the Bear Rally wheels. I stuck those on there, just mocking it up, see what it looks like. But yeah, I was interested in this one, even though I have several of the Revell 69 Camaros, because this one being a Super Sport, and it's got the Super Sport hood. While the Revell kits don't they don't have that hood. So just one I'm putting together, just compare it to the others when I get them done eventually.
So how did you get that big smile in the door, you said?
That's from one of the tires. One of the tires was laying against it for who knows how long.
Is that plastic to plastic, that kind of damage?
The tires are vinyl.
Ah,
Either vinyl or rubber. But after a while, the tires will attack plastic.
Oh man.
Yeah,
So how
especially
how are you proposing to deal with that?
I got an extra body off of eBay. AMC version. Yeah, convertible. I'm thinking about cutting this section out and cut a similar section out here and graft it in.
Oh, I thought when I saw the body, you're just gonna take the body off the chassis and just replace it with that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
just
one way to
open
do
the
it.
passenger door and put the new one on.
Yeah.
Told you, this is the YouTube channel I want to see, the Micro Auto Body Shop.
And no kidding. Or you could just like kind of add some wrinkles to it with the Dremel tool and make it look like the passenger door on my 74 Nova I had.
Yeah, that's an idea.
The wind caught it.
Had a bad run in at the supermarket.
With the grocery cart from hell.
And make a good diorama.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who wants to build a photo etch supermarket cart?
Tim.
Tim will not.
Phil's actually rolls.
Well, good luck on that, Steve.
All right, thank you.
All right,
That's all I have.
cool. All right, Darren, you're up.
Okay, everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
I am a glutton for punishment and needed something different to do. So it says I'm muted. Am I still muted?
You're good.
can y'all
We can
me?
hear you.
I can hear you.
Fine, man.
But something popped up and said, do I want to unmute myself? I thought it was unmuted already.
We were through this. We
Oh.
wasn't telling him yes, he was muted. Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
It worked in
like I said,
rehearsal.
a glutton for punishment, and I needed to do something a little bit different. So I broke out my Kitty Hawk UH-1Y helicopter and started working on that. It's right now in a million pieces as I'm going through, but and yeah, I know, Vince, before you chastise me, I know that this scheme did not exist. I'm going to go ahead and do the VIP version just because I think it looks cool as shit. And it's not gray. So
And it's not great. That's true.
and it's not gray. So I've started working on the interior, and in true Kitty Hawk fashion, it's got its issues, and we'll start with the nose. There's nothing. You look through the footwells and you can see just a cavity. I mean, that's it. So I've been working on it. I blanked off some of the areas in there to kind of box it off. So when you look up inside, at least it's not looking at just a shell of plastic. With that, I'm building a shelf and going to put some boxes in there. Go ahead and wire that. So some of the avionics boxes are visible. As well as, I guess they're AC ducts. There's some avionics cooling and some air ducts in there. The kit comes with just 2 of them molded in. I've cut those out, and you can see the orange. I've made ducts there. And then I'm cheating. You can tell my co-host that I don't care. I went with the Quintos interior, which is just, I think it's amazing looking. And as you can see, it's got the four vents across the front. And of course, I've got all those ducts made as well. So I've got to cut those out and put them in. And so once that's all in there, I know it's hard to start, but once it's all in there and you look up in the footwell, just the wiring and all that jazz. So I think it's going to look pretty cool. I've also went ahead and simulated all the soundproofing inside the crew compartment, and that's just some old embossed tin foil that I was able to lay in there and go ahead and get painted and dry brushed in. And I think it looks pretty convincing. So that's where I'm at. These little bastards. Seats with all the belts. And of course the pilot and I gotta tell you guys, man, if for nothing else, just the belts, I've used so much of the Edward stuff, the metal photo etch belts, and those are good, don't get me wrong, but this Quinta stuff, these belts are so easy. It's printed on both sides, so you can literally flip them around. I don't know if you can see that, but I got the side ones. Hold on a second. I got the side ones flipped up in the air, but they're printed on both sides. So I mean, and they're flimsy. So
are they
no matter how
flexible
you
enough to go down without cracking the paint?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can hang them straight down if you want to. They're amazing. So and see, it just pops right back up again. So I've got the shoulder belts all, one of them over the side, one splayed down in the seat. So if for nothing else, the belts alone are worth their weight in gold, man. They're just good stuff.
I tell you what, man, that was always my heartache with the Edward metal belts, because I'd paint them all up.
Yeah.
And then the minute you try to bend them into position, all the paint flakes and comes off.
Well, yeah, that's true. And then of course the pre-painted stuff, the color zoom stuff is always the wrong color for some reason. It's the wrong color gray or something. Second up is in my quest for something a little bit different is my Hobby Boss Super Tucano. I broke it out. I've started ordering up some stuff for that, one of which is the decals. And this one's going to be done in Burkina Faso markings, which is because I want to talk about something different. That's way different. So I'll be breaking in that one here soon. I'll have the A4 ready for PinCon. And then, of course, these other two are trying to have ready for Richmond. Well, Texas, then Richmond. So that's it.
If you're going to mark that in Burkina Faso, you can play Name That Rondell with people and see if they can actually guess it.
Yeah, it won't. I'll win some money on that one. Pretty obscure.
All right.
So not a lot, but a lot, if that makes sense. That's it for me.
All right, cool. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. Anybody have any, oh, by the way?
Yeah, I got one. So I have this, where am I? Am I up? Can anybody see me?
I can see it.
You're up.
I have this problem with this wing needing to be like this. And it basically has an arc in it. Other than hot water, is there a better way to do it than hot water to straighten that out?
That's plastic, right?
Yeah, it's styrene.
I mean, honestly, just hot water and then put it under something with weight that'll hold it flat till it cools.
Right.
Try a blow dryer.
I was going to
Yeah.
say a hair dryer, maybe.
Yeah, I got one, but unfortunately it's hot enough. It's a heat gun. It'll melt it.
Yeah.
Hold it further away.
Yeah. So that, okay. Perfect. All right. That's 2 ideas. Thanks, guys. If I mess it up, it'll get me out of having to build it.
Hey, Jonathan, why don't you send me a list of the RLM colors you're looking for?
The German ones.
Yeah, so what, you want everything?
Pretty much, yes. Anything, because they're not available, Vince. And I love painting with them. We'll talk in Gettysburg, Vince.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have some colors that I have a number of, paints in,
Uh-huh.
and then others that I too am getting fairly short in. So I wouldn't mind sharing some of the ones that I have, a good number of bottles, not a problem.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You bet. And Tim, I was talking before a lot of people joined. I'm just kind of curious if, Darren, and I didn't see if Whitey or Frill and some of those guys came on, but like, Dave and Justin, yourself, if we want to start looking at maybe getting back together and doing a nerd night soon.
I'd be game for that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Have to, I'm game, but man, time is precious right now. So I'm pretty swamped, but I'm game if time permits.
Okay.
The Saturdays
all-
are bad for me until like November at this point, but
Well, Saturday was kind of our default before, but a lot of people like to have decompress time, on Sunday before they go back to work on Mondays. But I'll just I'll throw out some dates where it might be possible to host here if you guys would be interested, and if there's enough interest and availability on one of those dates, we'll try to put it together, because I've missed kind of hanging out, having a beer, building models, and laughing until my stomach hurts with you guys.
You don't want me to come, is that what you're saying?
Oh, we can laugh at you until my stomach hurts. That's no problem.
Just remember, yours is smaller, Vince. You proved it tonight.
That was all I wanted to do, was hit the paints with Jonathan and put out the possibility of doing a nerd night again.
All right, cool. Anything else? Gonna be a quick night.
It's been an hour. Back to work.
Back to work. Okay, everybody.
See you guys
Oh,
next
yeah.
week.
2
Good
weeks.
night,
Excellent,
everyone.
gents.
We'll
So
see
2
you in
weeks?
2 weeks, okay?
Okay,
Yeah.
so see y'all in
Right,
Gettysburg then.
Yeah,
Not
see you in
me. I
Gettysburg.
got other things to do that day.
See all the
Too
fun
bad.
guys in Gettysburg then.
Yeah, you too, John.
Okay, Joe.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Good night.
Have a good one.
Night.